Welcome. We're about to dive into just one single powerful verse from the book of Revelation. And what we're going to find there is a truth so revolutionary, it literally changes everything about our access to God.
So, let's get right into it. You know, to really feel the weight of how radical this new access is, we have to first understand the old reality. The contrast is what makes this whole thing so absolutely breathtaking. For centuries, under the old law given through Moses, this was the reality. Think about that for a second. A holy, perfect God was totally and fundamentally separated from humanity because of sin. To even see his full glory meant certain death. That was the barrier. That was the law. And this really paints the picture, doesn't it? On one side, you have the old law, which meant separation, total access denied. On the other side, the new covenant, which means direct access, access granted. The command we're going to explore in Revelation 10:8 signals a complete 180-degree reversal of this ancient spiritual law. So the big question is, what on earth happened to tear down that wall? And here's the answer. It's the ultimate game changer, the atonement. The Bible presents Jesus' finished work on the cross as the single pivot point of all of human history. It's what made direct access to God possible for anyone, anywhere who believes. The barrier is gone, period. And listen, this new access isn't some dusty, abstract theological idea. It fundamentally changes our spiritual DNA. Through faith, our spirit is made alive to God. We literally become the dwelling place for his spirit. And get this, we now carry his glory inside of us. It's a complete internal transformation. This is really the heart of the idea of the priesthood of all believers, that direct access to God isn't for a select few anymore. It's for everyone. Okay, so if this internal change is real, what's our part in it? How do we actively participate? Well, the answer is kind of hidden in plain sight, right there in the powerful verbs used in the original Greek. See, the verse doesn't just offer this new reality, it urges us to act on it. So this is the instruction. A voice from heaven literally commands the Apostle John, "Go and take the little book, which is open." There's such a powerful urgency here. Just notice the action words. Go, take. And what about the book itself? It's already open. Let's dig a little deeper into what those words actually mean. You know, in the original Greek, these words just jump off the page. They are powerful, direct commands. Hipaige isn't a gentle suggestion, it's an urgent go. Lebe isn't an invitation to maybe think about it, it's a decisive take it. And aniogmenon is my favorite. It means the book is already open and remains open. It's a completed action with an ongoing result. The work is done. Our part is simply to respond to the command. So now that we see the command is this urgent call to action, what does it actually mean to take the book? This is where we get into this incredible metaphor about what it means to internalize God's truth. So what exactly is this little book? Well, it's not just paper and ink, right? It symbolizes divine revelation itself. In fact, the Gospel of John calls Jesus the living Word. So taking the book is really about personally receiving Jesus, who is the full revelation of God, now made completely and totally accessible to us. Now, this might sound a little strange, but the Bible uses this metaphor of eating the revelation. So what does that mean? How do you not just read a revelation, but actually consume it? How does a divine truth go from being out there to being in here, a part of you? And believe it or not, this isn't the only time this happens. The prophet Ezekiel was commanded to do the exact same thing, to eat a scroll. And what was his experience? He said it was as sweet as honey. That tells us something huge. Internalizing God's word is meant to be a deeply satisfying, nourishing experience for our soul. And then there's Jeremiah. We see the same powerful idea. He says he ate God's words, and they became the very source of his joy. The takeaway here is so clear. Revelation isn't just meant to be head knowledge. It's supposed to become the lifeblood of our inner world, the source of our joy. So when you put it all together, taking and eating the open book means going way beyond just a casual reading. It's about a deep, personal internalization until God's truth becomes a part of your very being, as essential and life-giving as the food you eat. But what's the purpose of all this? Well, this huge internal transformation isn't just for our own benefit. It has a massive external purpose. Once we've received that glory, that revelation, that life, we are then called to reflect it.
We become carriers of His light to the world around us. In a way, our lives become the pages on which this open book is read by others. And this brings us to the powerful conclusion of this whole thing. Because access is granted, because the book is wide open, and because we can internalize His very glory, the final command isn't just to receive, but to reflect. So now is the time to act. Now is the time to shine. So we'll end with this. The revelation isn't locked away in a holy place anymore. Access is no longer denied. The commands are crystal clear. Go. Take. It's already open for you. The only question left for every single one of us is, what will we do with it? How will you live this open book?